All right, guys, listen, culture is super important. And I'll tell you what's important in your culture is momentum. Leaders, if you don't have momentum in your business, it'll suffocate your business. If your people don't have momentum, man, it'll suffocate their results and they'll exit your company. So what we try to do here in the Elliott Group every single day is get together, inspire the people, set the tone, set the standard, set the pace. And what you gotta do with that is you gotta do that with energy. You gotta do that with fun. You gotta do that break the day up of people's normal everyday problems. I wanna ask you, leaders, do you got problems? Yeah, you had problems today, leaving the house, different things, driving away to work, somebody cut you off. Things happen outside of that environment that we can't control. But you know what we can control? Our environment, baby. And if we can do that, we can set the people up today to go out and win, to go out and think big, to go out and have fun. So every single day, we have a meeting to get the momentum stirred up, fired up. Sales boss, I'm speaking to you. Your job is to set the pace of the company. Your job is to set the tone every single day. And it's not just yelling, it's not just barking, it's not just getting mad, it's not just getting fired up. It's doing some things that are fun. Listen, on your sales floor, they gotta be having fun. We're a very intense, passionate, driven company, but I've gotta get the people excited. You gotta get the people excited again, dreaming again, believing again, being like kids again. So today, the team has an Elliott Ultra Marathon. They'll be racing around the office, doing some games that they have set up. I had 3 hernia surgeries, okay? Just the other day. I'm still here, haven't missed a day. Pros show up and deliver. They're not pretenders, they're contenders, okay? So I won't be in this little marathon. I'll be watching, but I'll probably have to jump in because the competitive nature is just gonna take over. So anyways, this is super important for you leaders that are trying to drive your culture to the next level, to get outside of your normal everyday of people attacking you with their problems, with all the things that they got going on. You gotta just separate yourself from that and think, how do I continuously drive the energy and the culture through the roof? So let's go check it out. Let's go, Evan. I'm on fire. Suffer on fire.
Warming up. I'm about to take Evan out, bro.
There we go. There we go. 19 seconds, baby.
Yeah.
I won. I got 18.
You had 21.
You got penalty points, bro, coming in. How many
Bro. No way, bro. They freaking watered the runway, bro, because he spilled it all.
You got nice shoes on. Go on ahead and take it nice and slow.
Alright, this is your foot race. There will be 3 of you, right? My champions goes right here. Let's go around the marshmallow 3 times. Whoever wins, wins. There's no timing here, okay?
They should have never called a foot race. That was a bad idea. Look at him. He's already defeated.
He's toasted, bro. He's getting old. He's been bulking and all these excuses. I don't want to hear any of it.
I'm taking this tight-ass shirt off, I can tell you that. Look, he's got his game face on.
I go for Esteban.
If they'd have picked salsa dancing, Esteban would have had this shit. But racing, this is me, baby. That wasn't fair. That felt like beating up on children. That felt illegal. I am an elite sales runner. I will destroy my competition. I believe I can close every buyer. Success trains failure complaints.
Success trains failure complaints.
I have no limit.
I have no ego.
I have no ego.
I have no ego.
Let's go.
Esteban lost. That's okay. I still love him. Evan, good job.
Okay guys, you just saw one of the culture building activities, and I want to give you 5 tips that are going to help you sales leaders. And listen, if you're not a sales leader, I want you to listen up, man. The person that walks like they own the company, talks like they own the company, they're eventually going to own the company, okay? So you don't have to be a sales leader in a title. A title doesn't matter, man. I was always the guy that was just creating the momentum in my stores where I was at, man, just bringing everybody together, keeping it fun, keeping it interesting, keeping it excited. I'll tell you what, any owner, any business owner, any entrepreneur, they would love to have a person that steps up and champions the culture, okay? So the 2 ways that you're gonna get paid the most money in your life are gonna be sales and leadership, okay? So this is leadership. I wanna tell you, number 1, I didn't come up with this marathon thing today. I didn't come up with that. We have people in the company that are stepping up, like Lacey, my COO, she came up with this competition today. She said, hey Ian, we gotta start out on fire, on fun today. I know you're hurting because you got the hernias. I'm gonna take care of this. And we're gonna make these people, we're gonna get them so fired up today. And I'm like, man, you dream of that as a sales leader. So what you have to do is you have to have teammates that want to step up. So if you're a teammate out there, you can step up in your culture and do it. But I'm gonna give you a couple tips. These 5 tips are things that I use every day to influence our culture. Number 1, we have a culture of accountability. Now listen, in some places they don't have any accountability and they're not getting the results, and that's the number 1 problem, okay? So if you're always speaking about accountability, it's not weird. Okay, if you try to go from a non-accountability culture to accountability culture, it's weird because they're like, well, why are we talking about results? Why are we talking about expectation? Why are we talking about winning? Why are we talking about being the best? But if that's how your culture is, and you steer your culture towards accountability, like public numbers, that's a tip with inside of the tip, being able to see everybody's numbers publicly, being able to hype up the sales that are happening in your group chat, being able to talk about that every day. When we have meetings, we have a meeting tomorrow, it's a Saturday morning meeting. For 2 hours, we will sit there and we will go over call reviews. I will pick 2 calls that weren't the best, and I will pick 2 calls that were the best. And we will sit there and we will say, did you see the sales process in there? Did you see this in there? Did you see this in there? Did you see that? Did you see belief? Did you see that they were memorable? Do you see that in this call? So that creates a culture of accountability. That's step number 1. You got to have a culture of accountability. Think about this. When I was selling cars, 10 years ago, I walked into a store and they told me, hey, you have to dial 200 people every single day and set 3 appointments or you're fired. And it wasn't like, or it was like, dude, or you're fired, okay? And so I didn't know any different. And that's, I got built by a leader to be great. Did I like it at the time? No. So many managers are reaching out to me right now and they're like, why my team doesn't take the training? My team doesn't do this. It's not a team problem. It's an expectation problem. It's an accountability problem. It's because of the way that you've been speaking, leading, training. That's the problem, okay? So I went to another store some years later and I walked in there and I did my normal 200 calls. I did my normal 3 appointments and everybody looked at me like I was a freak of nature. The store record was 26. I put up 44 cars my first month there. The store record for 80 years was 26 cars. I put up 44 in my first month. You know why? Because I was trained different, okay? And at the time I didn't really know, but I looked back and I'm like, I'm so grateful that I had those leaders that instilled greatness in me. A leader's job, my leaders out there, is to have hard conversations with you that you don't want to have. That's a part of a good culture. It's also to pull greatness out of you that you didn't know that you could get. So, number 1, we have a culture of accountability. Number 2, this is one that people don't talk about a whole lot. Number 2 is you got to be there for your people when it gets hard. Nobody forgets somebody that was there for you when nobody else was. A lot of people, when it gets hard, you see who they are and they just quit, they just flee, they just bounce, they just quit. A good leader is going to recognize the eyes of their people. The eyes are the window to the soul. So if you can look in your people's eyes and see that maybe they're going through something and you're there for them, it's going to make your culture stronger. And every single one of your people are going through something today. So be a leader that has a servant heart, a kind heart, a loving heart, a grateful heart. As leaders, a lot of the times we're a little jaded, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because people have let us down left and right. People make promises and don't keep them. You're usually more driven than probably everybody else, and you want people to win, but sometimes they don't want to win, and so it makes it a little tough. You have this like this internal battle, like, God damn it. You can't have that. What you have to do is just lead people, help people. God created you to lead these people, so do a great job leading them. Okay, so number 2 is you got to be there for people when they need you, and they're not going to tell you that. You're going to have to recognize that and be able to go in there and be with them. All right, number 3, you're going to create a culture of competition. What did you see today? Even in our fun, there was a competition. My brother didn't even know that he was coming in here to compete today, but the minute we started talking about competition, the dude's shirt's off. Okay, the next thing you know, he's running down here, he's yelling, they're throwing shit, they're going crazy, okay? So what happened and what Lacey did today? What she was doing was creating the fun, but also creating a culture of competition. And if you start your day with a culture of competition, what happens is there's this inner fire that starts to brew in the company, and it's fun. So you can create that through the revenue boards. You can create that through your group chats. You can create that through your meetings. You can create that in a lot of different ways. You gotta always be talking about competition, okay? So you saw that in a lot of our language. You saw that in what we did. You saw that in these little trophies. A lot of the times, like, we'll put up spiffs, you know, for people. And you know, what I'll notice is it doesn't matter if it's a $20,000 spiff or you could win a pencil. People just want to win some shit, okay? So they just want to win. And so if you're putting these things out in your revenue, in your culture, and just your fun, it will create something that is really special. Number 4, move people, move people. Listen, a lot of leaders, they're not experiencing progress in their own life, and they're not really pushing themselves, so their brains aren't on fire, their energy isn't on fire. I mean, you want your people to have energy, but you don't have energy. You know, you want your people to be driven, but you're not that driven anymore because you got the money, you're relaxed, you're chilling. You forgot what it's like to be a part of the ground floor. And so how are you gonna inspire people if you don't remember what it's like to go through what they went through? Go back to the beginning. Listen, your people are only gonna work 80% as hard as you do. They're only gonna have 80% of the energy you have, and they're only gonna have 80% of the work ethic that you have also. So you gotta ask yourself what that looks like for you. And a lot of leaders just wanna delegate the work. I get it, okay? It's hard to wear all these hats and do all the things you're gonna have to do, but you can't delegate the momentum. You can't delegate the energy. You can't delegate the hard work, or you're gonna wake up with a culture of whiners. You're gonna wake up with a culture of complainers. You're gonna wake up with a culture of complacency. You're gonna wake up with a culture that you don't wanna have. So don't do that. And number 5, guys, culture is built inside of the office, but it's really built outside of the office. What you saw was some in-office activities today, but what you're gonna see this weekend is, on Sunday, you're gonna see everybody coming over to my house, and we have a big party that we're gonna be doing together. We go to church together. I'm not telling you to be our company. These are just things that work for us. But the closer we are all together, the better that we are. So it's built in the office, but it's also built outside of the office. Like what we're doing together, you know, you got to think of these things. You got to be intentional about these things, man. You know, like we'll have a pickleball tournament this weekend too, where we'll show up and we'll do pickleball and do all these different things. And it's just about getting to know each other, running together, and having some fun together. So your culture has to be fun. It has to be intense. It has to be passionate. Somebody has to lead it. Somebody has to champion it. Somebody has to do it. And more than anything, it can't just be one person. I mean, you didn't see me take a whole lot of part in everything today, but what you saw was different leaders in our company doing what they do best. And so as a leader, you're gonna have to do it yourself, but your goal is to roll it down to other people and for them to take it and do it with inside of the organization. Culture is one of the most important things you can do. There's about 90 other tips that I can give you. I have something to be very special for you. It's a 40-page workbook on how we built our culture. It has SOPs, it has you know, onboarding, hiring, recruiting, training, exactly how we've done a lot of the things that we do, and I think we have one of the most special cultures on the planet. All you have to do is just text me, Empire Builder, so Empire Builder to 480-780-2203, 480-780-2203. It's free. I'll send it over to you. But if I send it over to you as a leader, I want you to text me back when you get the book. I want you to text me what you're gonna implement. I want you to read the whole book in one weekend. One weekend, it's 40 pages, okay? And I want you to tell me what you're gonna implement, because based on what you tell me, I can help you implement it a little bit better that's not just inside the book. Like there's tips, there's SOPs, there's all this different stuff, but based on what you say you need, you don't need to do everything, okay? But you can say, Ian, I'm gonna do these 2 things. What's the best way to implement it into the culture that I currently have? Because all cultures are a little bit different, and so you don't wanna just go implement something and not know what's gonna happen down the line. I can see a little bit further because I'm outside of your business and I'm in thousands of other businesses on exactly how to implement it. So basically, whatever I send you, don't just go do right away. You know, I love you fast acting leaders, but I want you to reach out to me so I can tell you a couple of tips on how to do it, and I'll do that for free for you. I just want to build great cultures because culture, the most important thing to me is community. I really love America, I really love our communities, and that's something that just drives me. It always has, is like I just love our country. And so I know that we bring our culture home to our communities. I know we bring our culture home to our churches. I know we bring our culture home to our families, okay? So your culture isn't just what you do in the office, it's really what they bring home to their families, to the community, to our country, to everything. So I'm on a mission, and that's what we do here at the Elliott Group, is build elite culture. So if that's you, I want you to reach out. I'll help you build the culture because you're gonna change families. You're gonna change kids that their dads are in your organization, their moms are in your organization. It's super important. So reach out, we'll kill it. Talk to you later. Let's go. 35 years old, still running a 4.6, baby. You don't want none of this with me. Come on, baby. We ain't losing, dude. And if I didn't have the hernia to beat his ass, I've always beat him in all the races that we've ever done.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Mess with my soul not to be able to get out there and destroy him.
baby.
But he can have the belt for right now.
35 years old, still
Okay.
one of the fastest in the country.
Let's get it.
All right, guys, you're the true 1%ers. You made it to the end of the video. Let's go. Like, comment so we know who you are down below, and then share this video to somebody else who needs it. And also turn your notifications on because we got the fire coming every single day. Amazing. We'll see you at the next video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.